So, I did a video just not too long ago, about a week or so ago, where I showed off my new Rimowa piece of luggage that I got compared to my old low gel groove frame that I had. And in that video I even said that my friend had an away travel aluminum carry-on. Here it is, and he allowed me to take a peek at it when he was in town and show you fine people. So let's get into it. Okay, let's just let's be honest here. You're probably here to take a peek at these two. Yeah, I have my low gel, and it's great, and it's going to be my beater suitcase, really. But you're probably here because you want to see what the difference is between these two right here. Now, there are other videos out there that compare these, and I'm going to try to stick to what I really think are the points to make of why this sits where it sits, and why this one sits where it sits. There's benefits to both. And in all reality, if we want to really cut to the point, is this worth twice as much money as this? Is it? It's hard to justify because in anything that you're doing, it doesn't matter what you're looking at, what product you're looking at. I can buy a vehicle for $10,000, or let's say a brand new vehicle. I can buy a brand new vehicle for $40,000 and another one for $80,000, right? So two cars, one being 40, one being 80. Is the 80,000 worth twice as much as the one that's 40? No. Come on, really? They're both vehicles. They'll both get you there. In all reality, they'll both last quite a long time. But it's the minute differences that makes the bulk of what that cost difference is. Yeah, you could also say that this is also a status symbol, right? This is a premium piece of luggage, and it looks amazing. I will argue that this definitely looks better than this. They do offer a black version, and you can compare that, and I still think that looks better than this. Not to say that, you know, this one's orange, this one's black. Of course, they're different colors. But I'm talking about the aesthetics of the design. This is kind of, it looks like an awesome piece of luggage. Everything about it, I think, just has some small upgrades that make it slightly better. Is it double the price? You know, double the price? Is it worth twice as much? I argue no way. It really isn't. But depending on the person you are, is whether or not this is worth the upgrade. Because I was honestly going to purchase the silver version of this one. After I saw his, I was impressed. And I still waited. Because I had a hard time saying that this was almost worth twice as much as this. Right? You can constantly just keep going over and over and over again. But as soon as I touched this one and rolled it around and played with it with my hands, I knew that was the one that I wanted. So let's get into it. What makes these two so distinctively different, yet both fantastic in their own right? So let's get into that. All right, we're going to do this standing wise. So to start, latches. Both of these are very, very similar in how they latch. However, they're completely different. This one has basically a button on it that you push. Let's see if I can do it from here. All right, and it unlatches it. And you can actually push these, and it is completely unlatched, which I love. Its simplistic nature to it, right? Quick and simple. Rimowa, a little bit different. They actually have on the bottom down here, if I can see right here, you kick it, and you can see how it kind of brings out. It does have a little bit of play to it, and also completely open, right? And the latch, again, I don't just push and push down, push the top in and then bottom in. So different but similar, right? Here's one thing that I think the away travel luggage does definitely better in certain circumstances is the handles. The Rimowa original carry-on has these spring-loaded handles. Right? They keep it against the actual luggage itself, and we're good. The away travel actually has these soft close spring-loaded handles. And they are spring-loaded. They'll keep it against the luggage. But the nice thing is that it's not going to spring back and slap like you get with this guy. Right? In all reality, these soft spring-back ones are really nice. It's the same with the top handle. I actually push it down on its edge. Same thing with these guys. Right? Now this has been used a lot more than the other one, so it's not quite as slow. And of course the Rimowa. And you know, it's one of those that I never really paid attention to that until I was pointing that out from my friend. Yes, that is a drastic difference to it. Also, this is the standard Rimowa cabin, original cabin. This is the standard aluminum carry-on. They make a bigger aluminum carry-on. I think that actually would fit closer to the size because you can see that the capacity is larger in the Rimowa if I'm going to compare these two. So a little bit bigger, right? This is designed for the specs of what the airline tells you. This is designed for the specs of what the actual airline testing tool actually does. So technically it's outside of dimension specs from the airlines, but it fits in their airplanes nonetheless. So also, like a lot of these aluminum carry-ons, there is a rubber gasket seal that actually seals the suitcase. So when you latch it, this thing is actually sealed. It's not what I would say is waterproof, but it's water resistant and definitely keeps dust out. But again, if you can see here, how these actually latch in place, I think that the Rimowa has a little bit more of a grab and suck. I don't know if that's a great way to say it or not, but that is something to say specifically. The corners, everything that actually is in it, he's actually had this for about a year now, and so he's gone on several trips with this. There are some scratches on it. It actually has some shown usage, but it doesn't really have any dents yet. So there is these aluminum ones do carry up, and they actually hold up pretty darn well, to be honest about it. And this is no different. Now we're going to talk about wheels. Let's go down here, like we were. These are going to have standard aluminum or just standard plastic wheels. Nothing fancy about them. They're just basically a a double wheel on a single axle. Just what I would call bushing based, right? Whereas Rimowa is actually putting bearings in their wheels. These are actually ball bearing. So these not only are super smooth to start, just like these are, these should last longer and stay smooth longer. That's kind of how they're designed. They're also expensive wheels. Rimowa does sell replacement wheels. You can get different colored wheels, lots of accessories that you can get with these guys. So right out of the gate, are these bad? No, these are better than the wheels that I've had on my low gel suitcases. These are really nice, and I know for a fact that it rolls really smooth. These roll even smoother. You know, it's just good, or better, best is maybe the best way to put it. This is solid. There's nothing wrong with this. These are better. There's no doubt. Also, as you can see, how the actual wheels attach, they are both plastic corners of the aluminum shell, right? So these are plastic right in here. Not to say it's a huge thing, but you can see how this is actually on a steel spindle here. This is as well, but it's actually plastic on plastic. So it's different in how the approach that they took and how they attach the wheels and what kind of wheels they have. So I don't know. I'll do it from the side a little bit. Maybe I'll show you a little closer real quick. So this is the Rimowa. This is, like I said, the ball bearing. There's no play in the wheels on the trucks at all. Whereas on the away travel, you can see that they actually have some play. They're just a standard, simple axle through, and they roll on the axle. Stepping back to the wheels real quick, the Rimowa, they design their own wheels. They have their own patented wheels in-house, whereas these are actually Hinomoto Japan wheels. So they actually utilize something out of house for these wheels, which I'll be honest, they are very sound. They actually roll quite well. I'm not going to say anything bad about these wheels, but you can definitely tell that these are not what Rimowa puts on theirs. Theirs are smooth as butter when you spin them. They don't make any noise at all. Let me show you. So here's the Rimowa. And you can tell these are actually on ball bearings because they just have they're not loose at all, and they're just in another level. The best suitcase wheels I've ever touched. I'll be honest, solid job on these. You can tell that they're proud of them. Okay, so last item really on the outside of the case that I do want to make sure I talk about is the handles. The handles are completely different. This is going to be more your traditional style, and the Rimowa has their taller style. Now I know you can't see this, but if I was to put these back to back, It's about 3 inches taller on the Rimowa than it is on the Away Travel. So this is a longer, taller. So if you're a taller person, the Rimowa will definitely have more reach for you. Also, this is going to be more your traditional style in the Away. It's gonna, if I click in the button, I can go down. This is the next locking point. Click it again. Next locking point. Click it again, and all the way down. So I really have, I think it's 3, right? 1, 2. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. So 3 positions that I can actually do this in. The Rimowa is kind of infinitely adjustable. I can go down a little bit. I can come down a little bit. I can come down a little bit. I can come down all the way down to where it starts going down. As soon as you lift it and you lock it, from there, it's wherever you want to stop it. You just push the button in, you find your ample height, you let go, and it locks in place. It's very nice. Also, and this is to say about almost any luggage I've ever done, is you always want to see what kind of a wiggle room you have in the handle. About the same. Not a whole lot of difference in that regard. They're both very well built for the handles. Like I've said on my other video, on my low gel, definitely a lot looser. But that's it. So, now, feet. 4 plastic feet. 4 plastic feet, nothing too crazy there. The feet on both of them are just big enough to basically get out of the hinges. The Away Travel is a double hinged design, just 2 hinges. Away Travel has 3. So 1, 2, 3. Whether or not that's a huge difference or not, it is something to say. It's kind of like older homes, like my home here has 2 hinges on my doors. When you put a 3rd hinge on, it just stays truer longer. It's a lot harder to actually get it off of, especially if you had this open and something was to kick it. It's a lot harder to bend or cause damage when you have 3 points of contact versus 2 points of contact. It's not, I think most of the time you'll never see a difference, but can it be a difference? Yes, there is a difference there. So, I think the next thing we're going to do is go into the interior of the suitcases and talk about that. One more thing on the Away Travel, just so you know, you can get the models that have or don't have underneath the handle here a port where they actually have a battery pack. No, I removed the battery pack, but that's where a battery pack can go. I took it out just to basically get some weight measurements. Sorry, there we go. With and without the battery pack, just to, I guess, have an idea. This suitcase that is smaller than this suitcase weighs about 1 pound more. So this suitcase weighs more than my Rimowa. When you add that battery pack and stuff in here, this is almost 2 pounds heavier than this. So that is something to say as well. So I've already unlatched both of these. And there are drastic differences on the inside as well. And this is going to come down to how you actually put clothing in here, how things actually can get suctioned down. So on the Away Travel first, let's focus on the Away Travel. Up here on the one side that you typically would have maybe a zippered pouch that folds open and everything, no compression going on here. We have a quick with kind of a release area, and then we can put stuff in here, but this is not going to have any compression built into the suitcase at all. It's pretty simple, but a nice container vessel. I like this a lot better than I like the zippered section I have in my low gel suitcase. So nothing bad about this, but it is not a compression area. So depending on what you put on here, just so you're aware. This side, we have 2 straps that are going to help you compress. There are 2 buckles that you do have to undo. And then you get, basically, it is attached to the buckles. This is your compression lid, essentially. So you can fill this guy up with your clothing, all your stuff. One thing that Away Travel does include in this little zipper pouch right over here is this is your laundry bag, essentially. And so you can actually store that empty in here, and then when you need it, you can pull it out and put your dirty laundry in. We can put all of our goods in here, all of our clothing, set that on top of it. Then you take the straps, strap number 1. Over here, we do strap number 2, and then we can cinch these down and basically compress this down, right? And cinch it down. The beautiful thing about this is that it is a 2-part system all the way across, so we are going to get a good amount of suction on both sides. the downside is we have 2 buckles that we have to do, and we're constantly going to have to undo and redo them as we I guess load and unload the suitcase. So not to say that's a downside, but that's actually a pretty good upside on that guy. Now let's come over here to the Rimowa. They have a completely different system, right? If you watch my other video, it's a Velcro based system. We have a lid here. Really easy to take and get this off here. We can just undo that and we can remove this all together. We don't have to use these if we don't want to. The system is built in here. You can just leave the straps in, or you can take these straps out. You don't have to keep these in here either. How this goes, and this is both sides, right? They're identical. These Velcro based items are nice because they're not going to be the Velcro that's going to get ruined over a short period of time. If you watched my video before on this guy, I went into all this stuff, this really soft base fabric picking up Velcro guy, or hook and loop maybe. But this is also a nice compression area, and you get 2 of them. Both sides get the exact same compression. Also, I didn't say that over here, this is a zippered section on the compression table that actually is full size. Same thing on the Rimowas. They all have a zippered section. Again, full area. All of this is, you can put your small, thinner items or items in both sides of this. So it is a different look at how this all works, but the benefits of the Rimowa is both sides are compression, and you can kind of tell this whole suitcase, they're trying to maximize absolutely everything possible to get every little square inch of area as usable room. So, I mean, even when you go around the latches, they're actually going outside of the latches to try to make, when these go flat, that they actually are kind of in the suitcase, whereas the away travel, not going to cost as much to do all straight line aluminum and then add the hinges to the outside. This is going to cost more to do these bends on the aluminum. It's going to cost more to do things. That's why this costs more. You know, and there's multiple reasons, of course, but that's definitely one of those big items. So that's a big difference between those two. So if you do buy the USB or the charger edition of this bag, which I think costs an extra 20 bucks or so, it comes to this guy. It slips right in here into your suitcase, clicks down, and then covers up. And of course, like anything TSA wants, you want to be able to remove it, which you just click it again and it pops up, and you grab it and you go. It's, you know, it's a 10,000 milliamp hour USB based battery that, I mean, is completely designed to fit in here. So if you want to replace that, you're going to have to go through a way to do that, but there it is. So this is a similar amount of clothes that I put in my Rimowa suitcase before. 8 t-shirts, 8 pairs of underwear, 4 short pairs of shorts, and a pair of sweatpants. And there's definitely, it doesn't come packed down quite as much in terms of level with the edge as my Rimowa, because, again, the Rimowa is slightly larger, but this compression system that they got going on with these 2 straps works very, very well. It just takes a little more work, I guess, to get it to compress, whereas the Rimowa is kind of a one and done, but works. I'm actually very impressed by that. It works quite well. Of course, the caveat to that is that I can't do the compression on this side. It's a one-side compression, one side suitable, and I'm going to say that most of the time you won't need that, but it is something to point out that this side is not going to compress your goods. So if you're going to use this side and you have enough clothing that you need both sides, you might want to use compression bags on the other side. Also, an item to note, where in mine I was able to get all my underwear below the thickness of the telescoping handlebar here. In this case, this is where that battery compartment is, so you don't have that capability right here. There is less space in this suitcase just because of those items. And another difference here is that the strap does actually attach on both this side as well as this side, whereas on the Rimowa it's a continuous strap that goes through 2 buckles down here just to pull it towards the bottom. But the strap is continuous. It's one strap rather than 1, 2, 3, 4 technically. So Yeah, that's nothing big there, just something to point out. Now, I'm not usually the guy that's going to argue where this is made is going to direct how good a quality it is, because I disagree with that statement. It's always made, it's not so much where it's made, but the level of quality it's made to. This guy right here definitely was made in Germany. They have 3 or I think 4 factories in total that Rimowa has. Canada, Germany, and Czech Republic, I believe, is where they are located. This is one right here in particular is made in Germany. But I have no doubt that all of their factories are putting out quality at a level that I don't think anybody beats. Away is harder to find out. I believe they're made in China. I'm pretty certain they all are. And of course, they're a direct-to-consumer company, so they're cutting out the retailer and all that stuff, so you got to order it directly from them. Rimowa also pretty much directly to you. They do sell through certain stores, but they have to be, you can buy them at, I guess, a lot of locations, but they have to be authorized to do it. So they're very controlling of their stuff. They have their own stores. You can buy directly on their website, but there's no doubt that the markup here is a lot higher. You're talking about a fashion, high-quality brand, and these guys are trying to get you as much as possible for as little as possible. It's really what they're doing. You don't really see a whole lot of deals, specifically in the aluminum ones, on any of them, to be honest. But same with Away. They kind of say at the cost that they can get it to you. It's rare that you see a big sale going on, but it's not like they don't do it. Rimowa, on the same hand, not saying they don't do it either, but you don't really see it either. So any of these high-end quality suitcases, it's hard to get a good deal on. You're going to pay what you're going to pay, essentially. And so it's up to you whether or not you think it's worth it. In the end, I'm not going to say either one is way better than the other one. I think that in most regards, not every regard, I think the Rimowa definitely is a step up. Like I said before, is it worth twice as much? It's going to be for you to judge. If you have the money and you're looking at one or the other, if I was to put both these in your hand, I think everybody, for the most part, would say, yeah, that is a really nice suitcase. It is definitely a step up. But it's a big step up in cost for a small step up in features or capability. So it's lighter. This one is bigger than this one. Like I said, they do have the bigger carry-on as well, which is going to be more suitable to the size of this, which is going to weigh more too. So it's like anything. I can make something that's really high quality, really high cost, and I can actually cut the weight down because the quality of the materials are going to be a little bit higher, and I can do certain things. And no doubt that the design that they're doing here, why they actually have this design, is to actually make it as rigid as it is with using as light a weight material as possible. And they get around that. That's where they got that from airplane technology. So it's kind of a stalemate, but because both of them are fantastic bags. And I really appreciate my buddy allowing me to showcase this one. Yes, it's been used. It's got his little tags on here. If you saw the Spartan helmet, he's got a couple of them on here. He put those on here. The Away Travel does come with a little travel kit with some plug-in adapters. That's basically to charge up your battery, and it comes with the European adapters and stuff to be able to charge that battery from wherever you are. So it's a little USB adapter. That's included with this when you buy it with that battery. They also give you a little scrub brush to clean this without damaging the paint and stuff like that. Where this is more, I think, painted really. The Rimowa, I think, is anodized. It's definitely not paint. I think it's going to actually keep up and hold up a little bit better in terms of its finish. From my understanding looking at it, this is going to scuff a lot easier than this is. But still, if I was to take a knife to this, it's going to go down to the basic aluminum color, which he's got a few nicks and scratches on here that are aluminum. I think he's touched up a couple of them with black, and this paint's going to be really easy to find that matches pretty closely. So I want to say thank you to my buddy for allowing me to do this, and of course, for you guys watching, if you're here at the end, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Again, it's hard to say, yeah, this one's way better than that. It steps up, but I would be happy for the most part if I would have gone with the Away Travel. I'll be honest about it. It's a solid suitcase. But I'll be honest, after spending the money and having this now in my possession for the last week, I do not regret doing it. I don't. Yes, I spent a lot of money. Yes, that money could have gone towards other things. I am not a wealthy individual, so this was a lot of money for me. But for as much travel as I have been doing and I plan on doing in the future, I'm okay with buying the best suitcase that I could possibly buy with whatever it costs me, as long as I can live with it. And yeah, I can live with it. And I'll be honest as well, I'm probably going to get one for my wife down the road if they offer a color, hopefully in the next couple of years, that like hits her fancy. So thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking to the end here, guys. If you have any questions, like I said, post below. And by all means, I'm looking forward to showing more as I get out there, and I have a lot more travel videos coming. So thanks for watching. Catch you back here on techgooch for another future video. Make sure you head over to Shoe Geek and keep track on that. I'm going to have more stuff on this guy definitely while I'm traveling. So Shoe Geek, that's going to be here on YouTube. Just search Shoe Geek, one word, SCHUGEEK. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.